Hi, folks. Thanks for coming. I mean, you had to come. Thanks for inviting me. It's really moving, actually, to be so honored. And it's weird, I don't know any of you, but I feel tremendously proud that you all made it through your PhDs finally. And I congratulate your families, especially, for not giving up on you. When the president phoned me to ask if I would come and be honored like this, I said, do I have to make a speech? And he said, yes. And I said, what's the rules for the speech? And he said, be brief but inspiring. So I thought about that, and I shortly gave up on inspiring. It's just not my personality type. But brevity I can do. Brevity is kind of my thing. In fact, in the 80s, I was teaching at Princeton after I left here with my degree, and I invented a form for myself, a poetic form called the short talk. A short talk is a 13-second lecture on this or that topic. Any of you who've ever been to Princeton won't need to have it explained to them why a person living in that community would come to invent such a form. So I'm going to read you a few short talks, and then we'll do some together, which is way fun. Okay. Short talk on Homo sapiens. With small cuts, Cro-Magnon man recorded the moon's phases on the handles of his tools, thinking about her as he worked. Animals, horizon, face in a pan of water. In every story I tell comes a point where I can see no further. I hate that point. It is why they call storytellers blind. It is a taunt. Short talk on Gertrude Stein about 9:30 p.m. How curious, I had no idea today has ended. Short talk on trout. In haiku, there are various sorts of expressions about trout. Autumn trout and descending trout and rusty trout are some I have heard. Descending trout and rusty trout are trout that have laid their eggs. Worn out, completely exhausted, they are going down to the sea. Of course, there were occasionally trout that spent the winter in deep pools. These were called remaining trout. Short talk on major and minor. Major things are wind, evil, a good fighting horse, prepositions, inexhaustible love, the way people choose their king. Minor things include dirt, the names of schools of philosophy, mood and not having a mood, the correct time. There are more major things than minor things overall, yet there are more minor things than I have written here, but it is disheartening to list them. When I think of you hearing this, I do not want you to be taken captive, separated by a wire mesh lined with glass from your life itself, like some Electra. Short talk on walking backwards. My mother forbade us to walk backwards. That is how the dead walk, she would say. Where did she get this idea? Perhaps from a bad translation. The dead, after all, do not walk backwards, but they do walk behind us. They have no lungs and cannot call out, but would love for us to turn around. They are victims of love, many of them. And now we come to the interactive part of the address. This is where we do a short talk together, you and I. I do my part, you do your part, and it comes together to perform a minute meaning. So in this one, your part is simply the word deciduous with a question mark at the end. So deciduous, 1, 2, 3. Deciduous. Fabulous. Remember your line. Short talk on reading. Some fathers hate to read but love to take the family on trips. Some children hate trips but love to read. Funny how often these find themselves passengers in the same automobile. I glimpsed the stupendous, clear-cut shoulders of the Rockies from between paragraphs of Madame Bovary. Cloud shadows roved languidly across her huge rock throat, traced her fur flanks. And since those days, I do not look at hair on female flesh without thinking, there, you see how that works. Okay, we'll do one more of those, and then I'll get out of here and you can have your part. This one has a double chorus for you, chorus A and chorus B, so I'm going to divide the room into halves. Chorus A, chorus B. Chorus A, your line is, let's buy it, with an exclamation mark at the end. Practice. Let's buy it. Fine. Chorus B, your line is, what a bargain, exclamation mark at the end. 1, 2, 3. What a bargain. Okay, focus. Short talk on the sensation of airplane takeoff. Well, you know, that could be true love running towards my life with its arms up, yelling, "Let's fly!" Thank you and good night.